Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, it's Salla here. So, my current trip, or recent trip, pushed me back a couple of days on the Junk Journal July UK challenge. 4 days exactly. Those prompts are here and I'm planning on holding on to these and catching up, maybe not in July, but in August. So I am determined to finishing this challenge. But for now, I'm starting where I am, or based on the calendar. So day 20, which is tomorrow. And when this video will come out, it will be on the correct day. So I'm going to skip the correct amount of pages and do my spread in there. But let's see, I think this is from Petals and Parchment. I'm not 100% sure. I will link the kit down below if I can find it. I also have some washi tape with some gilding on it. And then I have a stamp set from Stamperia. I think this is a really general one, but this piece of a map or roadmap is why I picked or chose this one. So that's all I have for now. Let's see what other things I will bring in, but this is a great basic structure, I think. Now let's get started. The printable kit that I'm using here, and had already cut apart one sheet of it, is the Necessary Notions, and it is from Petals and Parchment. Eventually I brought in a couple of different sheets from the same kit so that I could use them as ephemera on my spread. Here I'm taking a part of the washi tape. At first I thought I would just cut it where the page ends, but I decided to wrap it around. I can always cover it or just use it as a part of the page if I wish to do so. There I wanted to take the page of my journal, as I'm still available or able to do so. And I started by adding some more washi tape on the central part of the page, or central edge. I had that small piece of tape that I cut off from the top of the page, and I just decided to put it on the inside edge of my pocket, which is my second page. So, because I thought, why not? Then I wanted to have some maps, obviously, because the prompt is maps. And I just started layering some of the strips, trying to make sure that there is some contrast and just a good variety of different colors and patterns. Then I tore the edges of each one, like I'm showing you here. I'm pulling the piece that I want to be left, or the actual piece that I'm going to save, towards myself to avoid getting a really long white edge, or whatever you might call it. And then I inked the ripped edge to make it look more aged. Then I stacked my pieces the way I wanted them to be and glued the top of the page to make sure that they're secured to continue with the page. I also added some glue on the side of the page, but honestly I should not have done it because it made it a little bit harder for me to glue the rest of the pages. So a couple of bits weren't on the page. They were layered on top of the bigger pieces, so I had to glue those separately. Then I just flipped the whole page and cut away the excess. I needed to trim that a little bit more later on, but that's just to give myself an idea where I need to add some glue and so on. There's the top one down. I didn't want to make these like deep pockets, so that's why I'm taking this piece and gluing most of it down. I wanted them to be just shallow tucks that I can tuck things behind. I chose this page or spread to be kind of like traveling theme. So I'm imagining this to be a page from someone's travel journal or something like that. And by the way, I should have glued this one down a lot more too, because now the pocket is quite big. But that's fine. You can always try and glue them down a bit more later on. But yes, so I'm basically going to tuck little items like tickets and such behind those edges. And I don't want them to slide all the way inside the pockets, so that's why I made my decision to make them just shallow little tucks. Here I'm just sliding my page back, and I took a few of the longer pieces that I had cut apart and just put them straight into the pocket. I will add one thing more later on. Then I started taking some tickets and small things like that. Also, like you can see me doing here, I noticed that I didn't glue the pocket as much as I should have. It was too deep, so I just took my glue and made it smaller, basically. But yes, I'm once again paying attention to adding some contrast. If I have a green paper, I don't want to have a green ticket or something like that on top of it, because it simply won't show. So unless it's brighter or deeper color of green, then it's obviously different, but I'm always looking for some sort of a contrast. One of the map pieces that I used for the other page had that circle thingy that I have right there on it, so I decided just to cut it out from the scrap and use it for my page. Then I took the map stamp that I showed you earlier from Stamperia, and I stamped it on some brown paper. I also took some vintage photo oxide ink and made it look a little bit older by adding it to the center of the map, just with a ink blending brush. The piece or the stamped image was a little bit too big for my piece here or page here, so I just took the page out and glued it on top of the page without cutting it, so it will show on one of the pages before this page, which is kind of funny because the prompt, I noticed it later on, but the prompt for this other page I think is going to be paper houses, and those are little houses or buildings on the map, so it's quite suitable. I wanted to add a number or something like that to the page, but I had a little bit troubles with making up my mind. The black would have been fun, but I felt like it was a little bit too striking, so that's why I went with the orange worn out number. Then I glued on the text piece. I have no idea what the text piece says, by the way. It could be anything. I hope it's nothing horrible. I'm not sure which language it is, either probably something Central European, I don't know, German, something. I also took two pieces, a hotel receipt and a ticket. Then I stacked them on top of each other and stapled them together and put that into the pocket that I had. Then I took some stamps, faux stamps, and just put them crookedly and like quite freely on the edge of the page, just to add some interest and decoration. I also wanted to add one on the page on the right. It says Suomi, which means Finnish in Finnish or Finland in Finnish. So I took the white and blue stamp because those are quite like or kind of like our colors, so I thought that was suitable too. And then I just added the prompt right there and my page is finished. So here's my finished spread. I hope you like it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, leave a kind comment down below, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And that's it for today. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.